Yes, Sean, you are
up. Here we are. It's weird sitting down actually to present and try to talk to everyone online at the same time. So yeah, my name's Sean. I'm one of the learning technologists at Ayrshire College, and we're going to present a wee bit of kind of pre-entry courses that we've started doing at the college. It's very new still. We've only really run one that's ran from start to finish, and then we've gathered feedback from. So the idea behind the pre-entry courses is that students would complete a kind of short course on the kind of basics of their actual course they would be attending. These were created through Rise on Articulate, and you know, they've turned out kind of quite good. So really what we'd ask the departments to identify a lecturer to be able to write the content, and then we'd work with the lecturer to develop that content. So we'll start off with the kind of enrolment process first. So how we enrol the students. So we're going to look at the student applies, and then the internal stages 2 to 6. So this is where maybe they're interviewed, and their application goes through. So that's kind of that stage. But then we move on to the ICT accounts are created. While they're being created, then the department itself are looking for what students are going to be enrolled into the pre-enrollment. So the one that we've got, and I'll show you, will be the pre-entry to mathematics. And that's about half and half. So half of these students were never at college before, another half were maybe continuing students. Initially, we'd manually enroll them. So the curriculum would send a list over to us in an Excel format, and we'd manually enroll them into the course. And I think to start off with, there are about 500 students enrolled. That number came down quite quickly, quite fast. We'd then send a guide out to students on how they would access the course. And I'll come back and I'll show you that project after this slide. And after the kind of guide was sent out, initially they would then start completing it. But as they were then enrolled into their full-time studies, we would then take a class reference number that's attached to the profile field. We then attach that to the class, because what would happen is, let's say for example, there were 450 students identified at the manual enrolment part. There might be another 50 students that's come in late and was never actually manually enrolled, where they would then be automatically enrolled, and they would just start it as it started their actual main time course as well. So I'm just I'll come back out and I'll show you the course itself. So initially we have just a Word document that was sent out to students via email, and it's basically just showing them how they will access their course. I'll just expand this. And it's just the kind of information you would normally find, to be honest. And then we've got wee pictures saying that when they would be enrolled, the only course that they will see on My Learning will be the pre-entry to mathematics. They can't really go wrong. So their dashboard will be the very first page. It won't put up on their Moodle. So there will be no other courses to access, because they've been, even if they were contingents, they've been unenrolled by probably Joe over the kind of summer. So hopefully they couldn't go wrong. So the actual course itself, let's get it up now. So we'll come into it. You've got a wee course introduction. There's a video here. I'm not going to play it because it's my voice that's on it. And nobody likes the sound of their own voice. But there's a wee video there. Can I just show them how the actual course works? There's a forum, because they'd have been accessed over the summer, or part of the summer. So the lecturers themselves would be on holiday. So we'll hope that the forum would answer kind of other questions that students maybe have. So, for example, I think there's a question in there that a student was asking how long do I have to complete this, and another student has also managed to answer that. So that's kind of worked well when it's on. Then we can move down to the actual modules itself. I think there's 8 modules or something, I think. So they're quite short. On Rise, I'll put these up now. Can I give you a glance on them? Always seems a lot longer, doesn't it, when you're waiting? So I'm not going to go through it all completely. But it's kind of nice and sleek. The only reason we picked Rise was itself, it's more accessible as opposed to his storyline. So another kind of feature, so reporting wise, we use just the completion progress. So currently there's about 129, I think, that's completed it full out. There's about 60 that's just never started it, and there's about 30 that's almost finished it, but haven't actually got there yet. So hopefully, if we're on track, it'll be over a 50% completion rate, which I'm sure you can appreciate. Maybe it doesn't really sound that good, but I think it's quite good to try and get the student engagement. So that's the course itself. So feedback, I've only got 3 quotes on here. You'll see the bottom left one in the air section. I selected the correct answer as cubed, as it was to find the volume, although it showed the same answer but squared as a correct answer. So this wee bit of feedback let me know that I made a mistake. So I've also had to rewrite a bit and put it back in. But they were sharp enough to point out my mistakes. That's always nice.
That's always good.
I know, and that was actually the only bad feedback we got from the students. There were 2 or 3 people that pointed out that that part was incorrect. But the rest of them thought it was a good tool to refresh their memory. They liked it, and we've heard that the kind of students like to go back to refer back to it still at kind of the moment, which is always nice. So the positive points, the students were well engaged. Positive feedback. I mean, there's maybe 40 feedback's been submitted. And that was just at the bottom of the course itself. There were no major issues in terms of access and navigating the course, which is always a worry, because especially when you've got the new students coming in who's never accessed MyLearn before, or Moodle for that matter. Will they get it right? Probably around 5th prize completion from live students, but it's not always sunshine. So improvements, how we automatically enroll the students. So because we, at the very end, automatically enroll the students to maybe pick up that 50 kind of students that's maybe not been manually enrolled. What then happens if students kind of leave or they don't attend the course, they'll still show up in the reporting. Now, if we unenroll them from the course, the system will just automatically enroll them back in again. So what we've had to do is we've created a group, live students. I've just put everybody into that one group where I can enroll them out the group and then run the report. It's probably not ideal, but it's probably the only fix I can really think of, kind of short term. And content needs to be triple checked clearly, because I made a mistake. I lecture the curriculum manager who checked it, who wrote it, also didn't pick it up, so that made me feel a bit better. And then probably try to get the students enrolled just that wee bit earlier. Of course, we are affected on how the student accounts are created by ICT. This time, we probably hang about a wee bit after that, just because we were unsure how we'd send the document out and tell them how they would enroll in the course. But that's a kind of learning curve. So I think next time it will be, as soon as their accounts are created, they'll have that email saying that's that course good to go, and you're ready to start it. And on that one, it brings me to my questions. Any questions?